Tonight on Size Eyes on the Skies.
Well, what a difference a week makes. Last week we were sitting in the 50s outside, and right now we're at 36 degrees in Ames and 35 in Ottumwa. So really cool air out there, and you're definitely feeling it. Those winds right now are out of the south at 16 miles an hour in Ames, 20 in Fort Dodge. Those are going to keep the temperatures a bit moderate for tonight, but tomorrow we're going to be cooling down. I'll let you know what else to expect coming up.
Plus, Devon's in the studio with your national forecast. All that more as this Tuesday's edition of Size Eyes starts right now.
It's Monday night on ISU TV, broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa. This is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest-running television program brings you the weather from around the country to the heart of Iowa. The ISU Meteorology Department team of forecasters keep you ahead of the storm. From Iowa's most trusted weather team, this is Size Eyes on the Skies.
Welcome back. I'm now joined by Anthony. So you were saying earlier that temperatures are going to start warming up. How long is these going to be sticking around then?
Well, we're going to have a brief warm-up tomorrow, and by warm-up I mean like in the 40s. So it's going to get a little bit warmer, and then next week it's really going to dive down, and those temperatures are not going to be coming back up. So into the weekend, we're going to be having some different weather coming in here, possibility for some storms, but tomorrow the big headline is just a little bit warmer, so a little bit of relief.
The worst part about 30s again, what we had a month ago was much like when we came up in the 30s, like, oh my gosh, this is super warm, we like this, and now it's just going back from 50s down to 30s again, and it's just like, this sucks.
It shocks people. Yeah,
this really sucks.
I saw someone on campus today in shorts and flip-flops. He's going to be in for a surprise next week when those temperatures really drop off.
That cold front's going to slap him across the face.
Right now, though, we are at 36 degrees in Ames, so a little bit warmer than it was earlier in the day. At 36 degrees in Ames, 35 in Fort Dodge. So hanging moderately comfortable out there. You're still going to want those jackets and bundle up because it is very cold, and it's going to get much colder as we go into next week. Those winds right now, 16 mile an hour winds in Ames, 18 in Des Moines, and those are sustained winds. So that is what's going on out there, just continually gusting. Those gusts, are going to be higher than that, so very cold. Right now, 45 degrees in Kansas City, 27 in Cincinnati, and we'll have more for you next with the national forecast in Devon.
And now it's for tonight's weather story. On this date in 2002, what had been one of the driest Januaries on record in Iowa was broken up by a winter storm that produced snowfall across the state from January 30th to the 31st. The snow was heaviest across the southern and southeastern part of Iowa, where storm total accumulations range between 11 and 13 inches. And now we'll take a look at Devon with the nation around the country. Devon?
Thank you. Across the nation right now, we have a lot of cooler temperatures, especially in the eastern part of the country, with 27 in Cincinnati, 62 in Dallas, as we continue to have some warm, dry air continuing to the possibility of some wildfires, along with some rain up in Seattle with 45. I'll have more information about this coming up in your national forecast.
Welcome back. I know you missed us, but now we're going to go look back to what's going on around the nation with Devon.
Thank you so much. Yeah, across the nation, we continue to have this cool pull coming into the north, where we have a 12 degrees in Toronto, 45 in Kansas City, along with a lot of drier temperatures going on section by section. 14 degrees in Montreal, 20 degrees in Albany. We continue to have some cold air across the upper Appalachia, 12 degrees in Buffalo. Pretty cold as we have the lot of cold air coming on. And coming on to the southeastern part of the United States, it's still 40 degrees in Atlanta, 44 in Montgomery, still pretty cool for this time of year. And then 61 in Tampa for a lot warmer temperatures. Coming on into the southwest, where we have a lot more warmer temperatures, 80, nice 80 in Phoenix, 52 in Flagstaff, and in the mountains, 49 in Salt Lake City. And coming on to the northwest, where we have some rain and some snow going on into the mountains, where we have 45 colder temperatures up in the mountains where it's transitioning from rain to snow right now. 56 in Missoula, and 47 in Idaho Falls. Coming on in around the nation right now, we have some clouds and some rain in southwestern Montana. A lot dry in northern Texas, where we continue to have the red flag warnings, and then up in the Pacific Northwest, we're continuing to have some rain and snow transition on in. Going on into across the nation with Washington's warning, red flag warnings continuing across the panhandle of Texas into Oklahoma. So some high wind warnings up in Wyoming, and some winter weather advisories up in the Pacific Northwest. Looking on to the few days ahead, we continue to have we have the system moving on into Michigan, as we have this next system coming on into the Pacific Northwest. A lot of snow up in the mountains where once again we have the winter weather advisories. As we can continue onwards, we have some snow that's going to possibly come in, and then later on into the week, the main highlight is that we're going to have a huge cold front build right on in across the Appalachian Mountains, bringing in a lot of rain and snow into the northern parts of the United States. Looking on ahead tomorrow, more moderate temperatures evening across the nation, with 48 in Kansas City, 27 in Minneapolis, and then for warmer temperatures, a nice 64 degrees in New Orleans. Our pick city for tonight is going to be Seattle, Washington, as we are going to have rain chances throughout much of the week, where we have temperatures moderating out in the upper 40s, low 50s, warming up by the weekend with some temperatures up towards 54 degrees.
Sounds pretty chilly for parts across the nation, but what's not cold is tonight's trivia question. And that's going to be, obviously, how hot is a bolt of lightning? Is it A, 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit, B, 80,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's not the graphic you want, but I'm going to continue anyway, 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 100,000 degrees Fahrenheit? We'll have your answer coming up right after we take a look at the week ahead with Anthony.
Thank you, Garrett. Well, our headlines right now are pretty consistent with how it's feeling out there. It's warmer tomorrow. As we come into tomorrow, excuse me, let me back up. It's warmer tomorrow with those nice temperatures out there. Today, it was pretty chilly. You felt it as you were walking out there with cool conditions, and that's going to be the story for next week as we come out of the weekend and a potential storm for us. Weekend snow possible. That is still a bit too far away to come into grasp of what exactly is going to be happening, but we have the potential there for a little bit of a storm. A cool down next week, as I mentioned. Those temperatures are going to dive right back down and lock us into a very cool February pattern. I'll let you know what else to expect coming up on Size Eyes. Welcome back to Size Eyes. I'm meteorologist Anthony Baglione. It is a cool night out there. It's pretty nice with no weather systems really moving through, but our temperatures are hanging at 36 degrees in Ames. Winds, that is our big story. It's out of the south at 16 miles an hour. Those are sustained winds, so that is just bringing in that little bit warmer air, relatively speaking. But then as we go into tomorrow, it's going to be very cool. Temperatures right now, 36 degrees in Ames, 35 in Fort Dodge. A little bit warmer than our average for the day, which is I think about 28 degrees for us. So we're a little bit warmer than average, but you're not feeling it out there with winds, 20-mile-an-hour winds in Waterloo, 16 miles an hour in Ames. Those are all out of the southwest, keeping it bearable out there is the story. Our wind chill right now is 26 degrees in Ames. That's the result of those winds bringing in some a bit of cooler conditions, with 27 in Des Moines, 26 in Spencer. So just bundle up, bring in those pets, keep that heat on nice and high. Satellite and radar, it's a pretty quiet story out there with just some clouds right now. That super blue blood moon, man, that is a tongue twister. Our viewing conditions are not going to be great out there with those clouds hanging around into the morning. If you can get out there, try and see it, try and sneak a peek. It's a pretty rare occurrence, but I don't think we're going to have much luck here in Iowa. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but tomorrow, 10 degrees, our forecast low in Ames, 13 degrees in Des Moines, so very chilly, very, very chilly. Tonight, 31 degrees, so that's just that stark contrast for you of our lows. They're just going to be very different. Tomorrow, 41 degrees in Ames, 44 in Des Moines. It's a little bit warmer for us, a couple degrees warmer, but we'll take it. It's not the 50s we had last week, but it's still a bit warmer than today. 41, mostly sunny. Campus should be looking beautiful out there with that sun shining through after those clouds break up in the morning and that supermoon and lunar eclipse happen in the morning for us. Our extended forecast for Iowa State, we have 41 degrees tomorrow, very windy on Thursday. And guys, as we go into the rest of the week, it's looking okay with the potential for some snow on Saturday into Sunday. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
That rest of the week looks rather chilly, but we'll have another look at a trivia question. You might feel a little bit warmer because I'm going to ask you, how hot is a bolt of lightning? I mean, we have a range of temperatures between 10,000 degrees, 80,000 degrees, 50,000 degrees, or 100,000 degrees. All pretty hot compared to our 7-day.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think that a lightning bolt is?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to lean towards 50,000 degrees.
50,000?
That is hot, but it's a lightning bolt, so I'm thinking
True.
it.
I am leaning a little bit hotter, going up to 80,000.
80,000. That's toasty.
Can you imagine that? You could not stand near that and be good to go.
Yeah.
My actual answer is actually going to be C, 50,000 degrees. If you said A, that's actually the temperature of the surface of the sun.
Wow.
Surface sun about 10,000 degrees, whereas our own electrical storms are about 50,000 degrees. That's nice and toasty.
It's pretty toasty.
Especially
You
for-
could roast a marshmallow on that.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to be having any lightning anytime soon for us. So it's looking pretty dry out there, pretty cool. After some 50s last week, this February pattern is going to be pretty chilly, guys. So
I have just a slightest suspicion that this is going to feel like an extended winter again, going
I think it will.
into March and April. Is it's still going to be rather cool,
Yeah.
like the past few years have been, which is truly unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, it's February, and I think a lot of times we get the majority of our snow in February and March, so
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people realize that, but it is going to be cold, so make sure to bundle up out there.
I think we should make a movement to make warmer conditions for March.
Yes, we should.
Make it warmer for March.
I will try my best. We do our part here at Size, but we'll see.
Please do your job properly. We want it to be warmer.
I will try.
You as well.
Yep.
What's going on with the national forecast?
Well, once again, clear conditions towards the south, so areas like Texas and California, they'll have better chances of viewing the super blue blood moon. Did I say that right?
Twister.
Yeah, it is very hard to pronounce.
Which is strange though, because it's like much bigger because it's closer. The blue moon because we have 2 full moons in a month, and blood because atmospheric stuff. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and
wish I could
lunar
see it, though.
eclipse. Yeah.
I wish we could see it here. Yeah, but
it's truly unfortunate. Kind of might have been able to break out my camera for the first time to get some stuff going. But that unfortunately is going to conclude tonight's show. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can find every show on YouTube under our Size Eyes channel. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on Thursday.